All right. Hey there, Gulf Coast. I'm NBC 15 Chief Meteorologist Thomas Geboy. Hope all of you are having a great Fat Tuesday. Happy Mardi Gras. Unfortunately, we're seeing these storms moving through our neighborhood for our evening Mardi Gras festivities, but it looks like we were able to get everything in because we kind of moved up things before these storms moved in, but these storms are now moving through the western part of the NBC 15 area, and this line of storms will continue to move from west to east as we go through tonight. So during the course of this Facebook Live, this is going to be kind of a full in-depth update of what we're currently seeing and where we're going to be going as we move through tonight. So if you guys have any questions, comments, concerns during the course of this Facebook Live, let me know in the comment section down below. If you haven't already, don't forget to hit the like and share button. That way we can reach as many people as possible. And then, of course, if you just want to tune in, say where you're tuning in from, always appreciate that as well. But as a quick programming note, if we do see any tornado warnings during the course of this Facebook Live, we will end this Facebook Live and then we will hop on to NBC 15 TV. The presidential address to the joint session of Congress, that's going to be coming up at 8 o'clock this evening. If we do see any tornado warnings during that address, you will see a crawl on the bottom of your screen, but we will also be on air covering any tornado warnings during that address on JTC on our sister channel. So if you are wondering about that, that's what we will be doing. So just make sure that you're staying tuned there. And of course, you will be able to watch through our live stream on mynbc15.com in the weather section. So make sure that you also stay tuned to that. But if we do see any tornado warnings, again, we will leave these Facebook Lives and you'll see us mainly on TV. So let's go ahead and get you caught up. The time is currently 7:41. We have a couple of severe thunderstorm warnings across the NBC 15 area. One stretches from Washington County into Clark County. That severe thunderstorm warning is going to continue through 8 o'clock. And the severe thunderstorm warning that we have for southern Washington County, northwestern Mobile County, and through most of George County in Mississippi, that's going to continue through 8:15 this evening. The main concern with these particular storms will be the potential of damaging straight-line wind gusts upwards of 60 miles per hour. And these storms have been moving pretty quickly to the east, around 40 to 50 to even 55 miles per hour. So let me go ahead and put a storm track on this. And a lot of cities are going to pop up when I show it moving that fast to the east, say around, we'll average it out, kind of around 50 miles per hour. And you can see within basically the time frame from now to 7 minutes, it puts it in these areas. So basically moving into northwestern Mobile County and then into Washington County and then of course through Clark County. And really this might be a little bit too big to really get a good perspective of where these storms are going to be moving. So with that, let's go ahead and zoom things in here and we'll move our way from north to south. For those of you in George County and Mississippi, we are seeing that line of main storms now crossing Dale along Highway 57 and moving into Loosedale. As we continue to move up to the northeast, Citronelle, you're seeing a pocket of heavy rain, but the main bulk of the severe storm is still to your west. That's currently moving over Leakesville. It's moving into the southeastern part of Greene County. That will soon be moving into northwestern Mobile County. Then throughout Washington County, that main line of severe storms is along the Highway 17 corridor as you get ready to move into the southern part of the county. But for those of you in Millery and areas off to the northwest, really your risk of seeing severe weather is coming to an end, because once this main line clears your area, your risk of severe storms will be coming to an end, even though you could still see some lingering showers and maybe the occasional rumble of thunder behind it. Then as we move up into Clark County, the main line of severe storms is moving through Coffeyville and up towards Cunningham and Morven, and that's going to be working its way towards the east and eventually working its way towards Highway 43. So that's where that main line of severe storms is currently. We don't have any severe thunderstorm warnings for Jackson County in Mississippi, but as you look down to the south, you can see some severe thunderstorm warnings in southeastern Louisiana, and those are the storms that as they move to the northeast will eventually find their way into some of our coastal communities within the coming hours. The entire NBC 15 area is currently under a tornado watch. This is going to continue through 1 o'clock in the morning. But as we just talked about, as that main line of severe storms passes you by, this is going to be whittled away. The main concern with our storms tonight is what we're seeing out there currently, the potential of damaging straight line winds. But embedded within this line of storms, we could see isolated spin-up tornadoes, a few of which could be strong. And a strong tornado is defined as EF2 plus. Again, that's not a guarantee, but that potential does exist. And if you've been watching this evening, we have already seen a couple of tornado warnings for the northwestern parts of the NBC 15 area. So that potential will exist as we move through tonight. Now, the thing that we're going to be hoping is as we continue to get further away from sundown, we get further away from the daytime heating, maybe the atmosphere tries to stabilize just a little bit more, but the ingredients are still there for severe weather. So while that's going to be our hope, of course, that's not a guarantee. So that basically just means as we go through tonight, make sure that you continue to stay up to date with the changing weather, have multiple ways to receive alerts, and know where your safe place is just in case. So again, as we talked about, the main concern would be the potential for damaging straight line winds, secondary threat being that potential of tornadoes, then the lower end risk being large hail and flooding. And the reason why the flooding risk is lower is just because these storms are moving so quickly and more or less at highway speeds. So let's go ahead and time things out for you. I'm going to start the forecast tracker at 8:30, so this is within the next 45 minutes. And this particular forecast model is showing those storms moving through Metro Mobile. Again, this could be a little bit faster, it could be a little bit slower. Again, this is just based on one forecast model, showing it moving from Mobile Bay up through basically Monroe County. That line of storms will continue to move from west to east, and by 10:30 could be moving through our northeastern communities in Escambia County and Conecuh County, but then more or less moving through northwest Florida. And this particular forecast model has the risk of severe weather already coming to an end by 12:30, 1 o'clock in the morning across our area, just with those lingering showers and storms in behind that main line. And then once the front clears, we'll be looking at the risk of severe weather coming to an end across the board, and we'll see much calmer weather as we move into our Wednesday. And by tomorrow afternoon, a mix of sun and clouds. It will continue to be breezy. It won't be as windy compared to what we're seeing out there right now, but the weather for our Wednesday much calmer compared to what we're going to see out there tonight. So to put all this into perspective, we're code red now until 2 o'clock in the morning tomorrow. And that's not meant to scare you, it's just to let you know that as we go through tonight and with this risk of severe storms, make sure that you stay alert to the changing weather, have multiple ways to receive alerts, and know where your safe place is. And your safe place is going to be in a sturdy structure, an interior room away from windows, the lowest floor of your home. You want to put as many walls between you and the outside as possible. So let's go ahead and move away from the storms for a moment, and let's go ahead and talk about something else. I was going to show you the Beau Rivage Tower camera, so maybe it'll come back online. We've been struggling with our cameras tonight because of how strong the winds have been, and they have been significantly strong. So let me go ahead and show you the current wind gust, and I'll try to bring back that camera here in just a moment. Right now, it is currently gusting to 39 miles per hour in Mobile. It's gusting to 33 miles per hour in Pensacola and 34 miles per hour in Evergreen. Again, these winds are not associated with the thunderstorms themselves. These are what we call gradient winds. These are being driven by the low pressure. And here we go. I was able to get that camera back and ready to go. So again, this is our Beau Rivage Tower camera looking towards Old Glory, and you can see the camera really shaking. And those winds have been sustained out of the south around 20 to 30 miles per hour with those occasional gusts around 40 to 50 miles per hour. And the wind advisory that we have, that's going to continue through midnight tonight. And even after the storms pass by, it's still going to be gusty tomorrow, where we could see the occasional gust around 30 miles per hour for our Wednesday. But when you have strong winds like this, you are also going to see some very rough conditions, coastal lakes and bays and offshore. Now through midnight tomorrow, there is a gale warning offshore. We could see seas offshore build between 7 and 12 feet. And within our coastal lakes and bays, that's going to continue tonight through around midnight for Mobile Bay, and then for our northwest Florida coastal lakes and bays. That looks like that's going to continue through 3 o'clock in the morning, where seas and potentially our coastal lakes and bays could even grow up to around 4 feet. And we do have a high surf warning that's in place. We'll be looking at a high risk for rip currents at least through tomorrow before we start to see yellow flags flying by the end of the week. But chances are you probably just want to stay out of the water altogether, more or less through this week, because we'll likely see the risk of rip currents increase once again as we move into this upcoming weekend. Now let's go ahead and talk about temperatures, because we will see some changes there in the coming days. So tonight, we're only dropping into the 50s, and then tomorrow, daytime highs will be a little bit cooler compared to the last couple of days, as we only see daytime highs in the 60s. That's just a little bit below where we should be for this time of year. The average for this time of year, right around 70. We'll come in at 67 tomorrow. We'll be cool again on Thursday, warming to the 70s on Friday. Then as we move into the spring forward weekend, don't forget, we're going to be changing our clocks this weekend. We'll likely see our next system move through, and on Saturday, we could be looking at our next round of storms. And you'll see that here on the 7-day tracker, where by daybreak tomorrow, the chance of any severe weather comes to an end. Maybe a lingering shower around daybreak, but most of the day tomorrow will be spent under mostly sunny to partly cloudy skies. Beautiful weather for Thursday and Friday, and then going to the spring forward weekend, our next chance of wet weather returns, and as quickly as we cool down, we warm right back up into next week with highs in the low to mid 70s next Monday and Tuesday. So let me go ahead and get it back to the radar. For those of you that are just tuning in, the time is currently 7:50. We started this Facebook Live kind of around 7:40. We talked about where we are, where we're going to be going, and if you have any questions, comments, concerns, let me know in the comments section down below. I'm checking both on the NBC 15 Facebook page and my Facebook page, Thomas Gieboy, meteorologist. We have Savannah tuning in from East Bruton. Thanks for tuning in. Appreciate it. And if you just want to let us know where you're tuning in from, always appreciate that as well. We have Bianca tuning in from Citronelle. Let's see here. We got even people checking on each other. That's always good. By tagging other people, that's always good to see. Jennifer's saying it's rough here in Tibby with wind and rain. And the winds, they've been no joke today. I mean, they've been strong. We've consistently seen gusts between 30 and 40 and even occasional gusts more than that. So back to where we currently stand. 2 active severe thunderstorm warnings, 1 for Clark and Washington County, that goes until 8 o'clock, and 1 for George County, southeastern Greene County, and northwestern Mobile County. That's going to continue through 8:15. The main concern with these storms will be the potential of damaging straight-line wind gusts of around 60 miles per hour. But let me go ahead and do a deep dive here, and we'll inspect these storms kind of on the fly. So what we're looking for are those pockets of rotation, because within these line of storms, we could see these quick spin-ups. But as of right now, based on what I'm seeing, there's nothing that immediately jumps out at me. You can see these pockets of lightning, and those indicate some stronger pockets. Right here around Barton, that's going to be one area worth watching in George County in Mississippi. So let me go ahead and draw this so it might be easier for you to see on your screen. So this is around the Barton area, Agricola, and up towards Vaughn. If you're in Vaughn, Highway 613, up towards Highway 98, be watching this storm carefully, and that's also going to be going for northwestern Mobile County, because it looks like that's a little pocket of circulation that could be spinning. So we'll be watching that very closely. Let's go ahead and continue to go up this line. Again, on this main line where the reds and greens are coming together, that's likely where you're seeing, if we're seeing severe wind gusts, that's where they're going to be. We also have a couple of strong winds with a more intense thunderstorm up towards Hobson and up towards St. Stephen's. And then you can see that line continuing through Clark County. But again, the main thing that I'm going to be watching probably in the next couple of minutes is going to be this storm that's down in George County in Mississippi. And that's going to be moving towards Highway 613 relatively soon and moving towards northwestern Mobile County. But I think we're going to go ahead and wrap up this Facebook Live. I'm not seeing any questions, so hopefully that means we've answered any questions that you guys might have. Carly's talking about the causeway. And because of these strong southerly winds that we have, just like we see during tropical events, anytime you get these strong southerly wind gusts, you can have flooding on the causeway. And that's exactly what we've seen out there tonight. And as of right now, it's actually gusting to 45 miles per hour in Mobile. So we're getting basically tropical storm force winds here in Mobile, unassociated with thunderstorms, but those winds are definitely strong enough to produce that flooding out on the causeway. So bear that in mind. For those low-lying areas close to the coast and on the causeway, you need to be extra careful out on the roadways. But we're going to continue to watch these storms very carefully. If we do see any tornado warnings, you'll see us on NBC 15 TV. And also, just as a programming note, if the president will be speaking at 8 o'clock. He's scheduled to speak at 8 o'clock. We're going to hold that. We're going to have that on NBC 15 TV. But if we do see a tornado warning, you'll see the information on the bottom portion of your screen. And then we would be live on our sister station, WJTC. So make sure that you stay tuned there. And we'll also hope that we'll have our information on our live stream on mynbc15.com in the watch portion. But we're going to continue to keep you posted on air, online, through social media. If we continue to see these severe thunderstorm warnings, then you'll likely see us back here for a Facebook Live probably within the next hour. And just as we've been speaking, there is a new severe thunderstorm warning that now encompasses eastern Clark County in western Monroe County. That's going to continue through 8:45. Again, with the main concern there being the potential of damaging straight line wind gusts upwards of 60 miles per hour. We are code red. That means make sure that you stay on top of the weather, have multiple ways to receive alerts, and also know where your safe place is just in case a warning is issued for your location. But with that, I hope that you guys have a good rest of your evening. We'll continue to keep you posted. I'm sure we'll see you back here on Facebook Live, and if we see any tornado warnings, you'll see us on TV. Have a great night, everyone, and stay on top of the weather.